Leg je voeten op, leg je voeten op, op, leg je voeten op. Leg je voeten op, oh, leg je voeten op. Leg je voeten op, op, leg je voeten op. Leg je voeten op, oh, leg je voeten op. En we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want liefde is een lied en jij moet zing, zing, zing. Oh, leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Het is tijd dat ons meer dankie zegt voor alles wat ons heeft. En voor die schoen aan ons voeten en die kleren aan ons lijf en die kosties wat ons hier. En dank je voor die weg waarin ik elke dag mag rijden. Alles hier die blijkste highways niet voor mij. Leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want liefde is een lied en jij moet zing, zing, zing. Oh, leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. En dank je voor elke nieuwe dag wat ons mag zien. En voor je van die zon wat schijnt door elke liefde in. En dank je voor die huis waarin ons woont hier in die stad. Al verlang ons naar die stilte van die veld of dank je zie. Leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want liefde is een lied en jij moet zing, zing, zing. Oh, leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Oh, die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Oh, die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Leg je voeten op, leg je voeten op, op, leg je voeten op. Leg je voeten op, oh, leg je voeten op. Leg je voeten op, op, leg je voeten op. Leg je voeten op, oh, leg je voeten op. En we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want die liefde is een lied en jij moet zing, zing, zing. Oh, leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Oh, leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want die liefde is een lied en jij moet zing, zing, zing. Oh, leg je voeten op en we gaan spring, spring, spring. Want die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Oh, die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Oh, die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Oh, die liefde is een lied, kom laat ons zingen. Laat ons zingen.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. A little bit of a false start there to the broadcast. Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. First off, you can see the time. It's just before 8 a.m. here. I only can do a short broadcast this morning, about 40 minutes on this one. So we're going to run through some news stories and talk about them. Not all the news for the day, but a few things on the Trump-Harris campaigns, as well as Action SA in South Africa and some other things taking place. But thanks for being here. For those who've watched my video on Donald Trump and the court cases against him, they're over on the original channel at Real Chris Wyatt. Thank you for watching that. That video eclipsed 70,000 views last night and has garnered nearly 900 new subscribers on that channel, taking me up almost to the point where I was at before YouTube started attacking me and taking my subscribers off last year. So the disappointing thing is that the follow-up video that I did after that in the so-called third assassination attempt, which doesn't appear to be an assassination attempt, in Coachella, California, That video has about 700 views, so something isn't jiving. YouTube was still promoting the one video, but then the people subscribing aren't coming back for the new videos. So whatever the case, I'll take the subscribers, and hopefully people will glom on and catch the channel. Been introduced to some people who never heard of me before, and they found my content appealing. So that's good to see. That's the key, getting exposed to people. If you build it, they will come. Well, maybe, but only if YouTube promotes it. So welcome back to the program this morning here for a sunrise edition. It is 7:51 in the morning here on the East Coast of the United States. My digital clock back there is matched up almost correctly with the computer time, so we're good to go. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat very quickly here. I just finished recording the Rugby Ascendant podcast with MV Velman. We talked about URC action this weekend. So just finished that a few moments ago, and this quick morning sunrise edition before I head off to do my consulting gig today. Anyway, Eric is here. Eric, good to see you there. Monray Siebritz, Val, Alan Kotza, Clive Streak, Johnny Pingo, welcome back. Hope you're well. Vilma Erasmus, sun is shining in Cape Town. Wildflowers are blooming. Spring is beautiful, says Erica. Diane McMeekin, welcome to you. Good day, and thank you for your long-term membership to both of you. Erica has the Galaxy. That's the top level. I think I can go back and edit and put another level in now for like 5 years if we get to that. But thanks for the support for the channel, everybody. Thank you so much. I had to restart the stream because this software from Streamlabs, I don't know what's going on. It's weird. Anyway, so we'll figure it out. All right. Yeah. So 27 people here. Let's get us into the news. Talk about a few items here in South Africa that are of attention. So one of them is what is going on with Action SA? I need to reach out to Michael Beaumont and say, hey, can I get an interview with your party? I'm very distressed by the behavior of Action SA. And they're talking about Cilliers Brink, and it's just, I don't understand. It's almost an obsessive compulsion with Action SA to denigrate Cilliers Brink. What did he do to so piss off Herman Mashaba and Action SA? Was it a personal vendetta? It sure seems that way. It really does. And South Africa doesn't need this from its opposition parties. They need to work together. Due to the kindness of strangers, I appreciate all the gifted memberships. Yeah, Diane, the gifted memberships, but you've got Statue of Liberty, which is longevity there. So it's kind of people to do that. You've gotten a lot of free membership, which is pretty cool. All right, let's take a look here. This is going to flicker because I had to restart the software. So here you go. Sorry about the flicker. Hopefully you don't have epilepsy. Attack first. Mashaba likens Action SA's axing of Cilliers Brink to fighting against muggers. What? They said they had to remove him because the party was under threat from the DA. Their only option was to strike first. Removing former Tshwane Mayor Cilliers Brink from the office was Action SA's only defense against the DA, which was hell-bent on destroying them. How so? According to Herman Mashaba, he said he was not going to let his party suffer the same fate as Agang and other smaller parties which have been swallowed up by the DA. It's unfortunate what really happened, but we had to do everything in our power. We have the constitutional right to defend ourselves, and that's exactly what we did. I'm a very strong believer that when you are faced with a threat, and the threat that wants to really destroy you, what you do is attack first. Okay, listen, is this a comment about the Democratic Alliance versus the Action SA party? I'll listen to that. I'll entertain that. But are you telling me really that it's more important for you, for parochial self-interest, to undermine and sabotage a ruling coalition in the capital city of Tshwane, affecting 4 million residents because you're under attack? What did Cilliers Brink do to you? They briefed journalists yesterday on the party's achievements of the last 100 days and their plans. What achievements? You destroyed the government of Tshwane. That's not an achievement. He gave an example where he had to strike first in 1970 to defend himself against a group of men who tried to rob him. Are you serious? What kind of analogy is this? You're talking about being robbed in 1978? So as I approached them, the robbers, I charged them first, and obviously it gave me a chance to go through, and this is exactly what happened in Tshwane. It came to my attention that there was a plot to destroy organization, and I decided, Herman, this is what you did in 78, attack first, and that's exactly what we did. Attacking is one thing, Herman Mashaba, but the racially tinged charged language that you're using and calling people names and describing Cilliers Brink, a man who wasn't even alive during the apartheid era, as some evil sort of, apartheid plot. I mean, these are the words coming out of your mouth on your tweets. I don't understand that. Look, this seems to me that Action SA is backpedaling now because they've been called out and people are angry at their behavior. That's my analysis of what I see here. I don't understand where he's going at here. Here we are. We landed. We've ended up being the leader of a coalition government in the city of Tshwane, something that I never planned. But it happened, and we had to protect ourselves. You're the leader of the party? Then why? Why are you posting endless tweets about racism, and then you have a mayor who picks a racist to be on her mayoral committee? A man who spews racial hatred and threatens white South Africans with murder. He wants a more abor. Remember that? Rambobodu. And your Mako has him on it? Why? Why? The only racism here is coming from black supremacists. And this appears to be the case here. Why is Herman Mashaba entertaining black supremacists? Look, the credibility of Dr. Nasife Moya's mayoral committee was completely out the window. And it's obvious that she's not running the city. It's obvious. The ANC is pulling the strings. And the ANC likes to have its useful idiots, the EFF, there to take the Sabo round. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Nasife Moya was elected mayor last week and is after the ousting of Silver Spring 2 weeks ago. Mashaba also said South Africa entered an era of coalition. Let's put Shwani to bed and ensure that we deliver services to all the communities. Whoops, excuse me. That's my alarm to tell me it's 8 o'clock. To communities, let's put Shwani to bed. No, let's not put Shwani to bed, because your behavior is reprehensible. It's one thing to say that you have a falling out with the Democratic Alliance and you can no longer govern with them because of something happening in council. But to attack them as racist, and to attack Silliers Brink, what has Silliers Brink done? The man is not even from Pretoria. He and his wife went to uni there. They liked the climate, they liked the environment, they felt loyal to the city, got elected to the council, became the mayor when he could have stayed in Parliament. Let's put Shwani to bed and ensure that we deliver services to all the communities and residents of Shwani, and we'll start negotiations to see how we can play a crucial role in the turnaround of the city of Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni, because that's where we have the numbers to make an influence. Well, Shwani will not improve. The caters are back, and they will eat, and the city will fall into disrepair. Not just Soshanguve, not just Hammanskal, but the entire metro area will continue to collapse. The effort to restore legitimate government, responsible government, honest government by Silliers Brink is out the window. And now the caters will eat once again. And it won't just be the townships. It'll be all of Shwani. I should have done a check on the audio. I got to get in the habit of doing that now. So let me just get to live here. Oh, that sound is really good. Deep, good sound. No wonder you guys like my voice. Just tease. I feel like Sally Field. You love me. You really love me. Poor Sally Field. That didn't go over well. Wow. Silliers Brink had this to say. The DA warned Action SA and the ANC that their new coalition would give the balance of power in the city to the EFF, and this is exactly what's happened. The EFF is a party of hate, violence, and chaos. Well, yeah, that's true. Its national leadership is implicated in theft of money from VBS. It's implicated in hate speech at Senekal 2, in Brackenfell, at Phoenix, take your pick. The Clicks domestic terror events. Yeah, one of the new EFF members of the mayoral committee is Obakeng Arambobodu, notorious for violent racist outbursts on the floor of the Shwani City Council. Statement of fact. And that is now who Action SA is. They are a party that appoints people who spew racial hatred in public office. Funny how the South African Human Rights Commission, I did a video on that, almost nobody's watched it, 1,300 views, exposing the hypocrisy of South Africa's racist system of governance and its racist civic organizations. The captured South African Human Rights Commission, which failed to do anything about Rambobodu's call to murder people. Never mind the fact that Julius Malema, in an interview, said, no, we're not going to kill all the whites, not just yet, implying that it'll be time to kill white people later on. What the hell is wrong? There's a cancer in South Africa. It's called black supremacy. There's a lot of appendage envy there, also known as penis envy, by so-called black politicians who love fancy degrees they didn't earn and then look down on people because of a high school diploma they actually earned. There's a difference between John Steenhuisen actually earning his matriculant status and black supremacists being handed fake awards or going to fake universities and then touting around their credentials. They're not legitimate. Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, Herman Mashaba says that, Michael Beaumont says that the Action SA has matured. What say you? Let me do a poll on that very quickly. There's not that many people here. We got 44, but let's do a poll anyway. Here we go. Do you agree? All right. Do you agree? The party has matured. The poll is up. You can answer that. Suspicion most people aren't going to think it's the case. But in the Times Live, National Chairman Michael Beaumont says it might be that in another municipality, a situation arises in which the party chooses a different configuration of political parties. Well, yeah. They say they'll approach future coalition talks based on specific merits of the people involved, geography, and the set of circumstances in the area of question. That sounds like a signal to try to reassure its voters that its racist rantings of its party leader on Twitter aren't really representative of what the party's all about. I assume that's what it's all about. Yeah. Answering questions from the media yesterday about working with the ANC at local government level while opposing the party at national level, Action SA National Chair Michael Beaumont said there was no contradiction. And while the configuration in Shawnee was necessary, it was equally true that the best role Action SA could play nationally was that of opposition. Okay, if you say so. If you say so. Well, interesting Judicial Services Commission hearings to select new judges, and of course, who's on there but the man who fires live ammunition into crowds, endangering public safety, the man who, after the fact, has his team alter the receiver in the rifle so that they can defraud, then pervert the means of justice, the man who calls for click stores to be attacked, the man who spews racial hatred, the man who gets interviewed and calls for the killing of whites, the man who sings for the killing of whites, the man who sits in parliament and leads the EFF, the man who says that he's for the poor, the downtrodden, the black masses, yet rides around in Land Cruisers wearing Breitling watches and $10,000 suits, none other than Juju Julius, the convenient idiot Malema. On this commission, but he does ask an interesting question. He says that a judge with 2 years experience vying for a position is like a new convert who wants to join the priesthood. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. We're talking about Tulani, Daniel Tulani. So this one's just wrapping up earlier in the day. The interview concluded. So Tulani is the candidate, Daniel Tulani. So I'm trying to get down here to where it starts. These are updates as the thing was live. So the last candidate to be interviewed was Judge Daniel Tulare, who notoriously drew the wrath of Judge Mohang for sending a voice note that celebrated the possible appointment of Supreme Court of Appeals President Maya as Chief Justice. Now, Maya, in this hearing, told Tulani that he is an activist who also serves as a leader of a church. She adds his leadership qualities are not in doubt and that she praised him for his contribution to the empowerment of women at a time when this was not popular. Talk about a conflict of interest. He cheered for her, rah-rahed for her, and drew attention, and now she's trying to pay it back. Clearly, some conflict of interest going on in Judicial Services Commission here. Tulare claims that civil matters are frequently allocated to acting judges who are advocates rather than permanent judges. Permanent judges tend to be given criminal cases. So Tulare talked about his PD history and detailed what he describes as judicial etiquette. He also said that, now this is a candidate for high court, okay, in South Africa. He said that he brings the wisdom of my ancestors to the judge-present position. He says that this has taught him to humble himself in situations where there's a point of difference to consider that he may be the one who's wrong. Your ancestors, are you throwing the bones? What's going on here? Your ancestors. I guess by the same token, I trust the wisdom of my ancestors, although they're not my direct ancestors, but the founding fathers of my country who set forth the most brilliant political system in the history of humankind. So would that be the same? Do I trust in my ancestors? Not really my ancestors. They're white. So does that make them my ancestors? I'm not descended from any of the founding fathers to my knowledge. Yeah. So will he bring a traditional healer in when he feels ill? Stop it. Well, the Democratic Alliance's petition to get ESCOM's ridiculous 40% rate hike stopped. It has 110,000 signatures. That's all. 114,000 signatures. South Africans are thrown away behind the party's petition, launched on August 19th. That's all they've gotten since August 19th. Since 2007, ESCOM has increased its price by 450%, and they're still not able to pay the bills. Now, why is that? Residents are warned to stay away from Simonstown Beach, where a humpback whale has washed ashore. Don't know if he's still alive at this stage. This is hours ago, about an hour ago. Oh, it's dead. Excuse me. A dead humpback whale washed ashore at Long Beach in Simonstown. Residents have been warned to stay away from Long Beach while officials remove the carcass. It was disposed of at a landfill site. Through November, December, January, because of a lot of humpbacks around with normal animal population, there's always some mortality. So some animals die. It's just a normal course of events. Every year this time, we get some humpback carcasses that wash ashore. There are a lot of humpbacks in False Bay at the moment, so the fact that we had a dead animal wash ashore is not a surprise. Yeah, so stay away from it. Referring to bystanders who gathered to watch officials clear the scene, Chame added, well, one can't blame the people. It's not every day that we get to see a whale this size wash up. We were told that they were waiting for a truck to load the whale before disposing of it. Well, stay away from the dead whales, folks. I don't think you need to be told that, but apparently some people do. Remember that story about the fake Mark Hermanis, the guy Nigerian who defrauded the woman of 3 million rand? Oof. Yep, well, there he is. He's back in court. Nigerian man Gabriel Okori has been remanded to custody after he appeared in Pretoria Magistrates Court facing charge of fraud and theft. The 39-year-old was arrested earlier in the month in Cape Town by the Hawks. So, back in court. Well, at least they caught him. That story about the young guy who was murdered by a hit team led by a seasoned, experienced SAPS detective, that story just gets more bizarre by the hour. Veteran Detective Michael Puletau violated his bail conditions multiple times, including unauthorized trips and secret meetings, was found with a hidden gun and an undisclosed second cell phone. Why in the world are you releasing a police officer on bail in a murder-for-hire case? I've already covered this story before and talked about it. Unbelievable. Surveillance and data analysis linked him to various suspicious activities, undermining his claims of poor health and compliance with bail conditions. So while he lied about his condition, he ran around violating his bail, committing more crimes, apparently. He has a fresh bail application in the Vanaging Magistrates Court tomorrow. Late-night jaunts, shady rendezvous with a string of women, and a secret gun may prove the undoing of veteran detective Michael Puletau, allegedly a central figure in a hit squad linked to the slaying of Vanaging engineer Armand Svat. He appeared in the magistrate's court Monday alongside alleged accomplices. The trio were arrested just hours after his Swat's murder on 17 April and now face charge of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, possession of stolen property, attempted murder, and the unlawful possession of firearm and ammunition. Swat was gunned down in a case of mistaken identity. The bullets meant for a colleague at the company where he worked 3 weeks after the firm filed a whistleblower report that revealed a mammoth 4,500% price gouging on a Transnet contract. He was released on bail and ostensibly placed under house arrest in August after claiming to have been denied medical care in prison and setting out how his chronic diabetes and high blood pressure were in danger of becoming life-threatening. Well, if it's life-threatening, too bad. You're just going to die from it. You murderous bastard. The African National Congress is not happy with the entire delegation that was in Morocco. I have no idea what was going on up there. They already went after one of the members of it, but now they're going after all of them. ANC says the axe will fall on the entire Moroccan delegation, not just Obed Bapela for misrepresenting South Africa. Well, how are they doing that? Obed Bapela and anyone who's not part of the delegation was not mandated by us. They were also not mandated by the South African government. That's the bottom line. Any other detail comes after. Okay, so what did they do? Interesting. They went to Morocco. Interesting. I have spoken. It was a misrepresentation, and it was not mandated position. It was never supposed to be. We have a view on Morocco and how Morocco tries to actually circumvent processes that must be inclusive so that we find peace. At this moment, nobody is mandated by the ANC, and hence the ANC has taken a stance in that regard. Must be tied to Western Sahara. We support the efforts that have been made in the continent and also among our strategic allies such as Algeria in giving permanent solidarity and support to the people of Western Sahara. At no point has ANC said there won't be a need for all parties to come together. Well, so, We want to be consistent with where we stand for. Nobody last week was sent to go and speak on behalf of the ANC. You can't betray the people of Western Sahara, nor can we misrepresent the ANC because this is about a misrepresentation. Well, newsflash to the ANC. There is no place as Western Sahara. It's part of Morocco. Get over it. The Sawahiri were virtually nobody, and they've turned to the T word and attacked people illegitimately and have reproduced like rabbits in the southwestern desert of Algeria, making themselves a nuisance. Western Sahara is an integral part of Morocco. Get over it. Not going to change. The African Union can't make a change. You can't make a change. Well, the United Nations says it will not withdraw its peacekeepers from southern Lebanon, although they find themselves in harm's way. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has called for the UNIFIL mission to withdraw, claiming it's providing a human shield to Hezbollah. UN Security Council has refused to bow to Israeli pressure and withdraw peacekeepers from southern Lebanon and has urged both sides to respect neutrality. But is the United Nations UNIFIL mission actually neutral? Hezbollah has built a series of tunnels, amassed huge amounts of weaponry, used southern Lebanon in and around United Nations troops to launch rockets into northern Israel. Is UNIFIL actually objective and neutral? No, they're not. They're complicit in the crimes of Hezbollah. If their job is to ensure the peace, then it never should have occurred. They never should have been able to build these tunnels and to build these weapons caches and to import these weapons and to use southern Lebanon and the Bekaa Valley to attack Israel. What is the purpose of the United Nations? To facilitate the tea movements around the world? UNIFIL is not objective and is not neutral. They are a part and party, so they're legitimate targets. They make themselves legitimate targets by participating in this. Benjamin Netanyahu says that Israel will strike Iranian military, not nuclear or oil targets. Well, I think you should attack the oil infrastructure. This is a sign of restraint. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has told the Biden administration he's willing to strike military rather than oil or nuclear facilities. In the 2 weeks since Iran's latest missile barrage, his second direct attack in 6 months, the Middle East has braced for Israel's promised response. Well, Biden and Netanyahu spoke Wednesday last week, and they're asking for restraint. Well, Israel has a right to respond. Polish lawmakers are pushing back on the prime minister after he suspended the right for asylum. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk announced over the weekend that he would be temporarily halting the ability of new arrivals in the country to stay. Members of Poland's ruling coalition expressed concerns after Donald Tusk plans to suspend the right to asylum Monday after the Polish prime minister announced them over the weekend. On Saturday, at a Congress organized by a civic coalition, a defiant Tusk promised to reject any EU immigration policies he believes will undermine Warsaw's security and said the right to asylum would be temporarily suspended. Some people in this coalition say they believe these measures may breach the country's constitution as well as international law. Well, there's no such thing as international law. These are international agreements. Stop trying to call it law. Immigration has been high on Poland's agenda since 2021, with 40,000 criminal alien invaders, mostly from Middle East and Africa, began illegally trying to enter the Polish-Belarusian border. Yep. Last week, Tusk said that thousands of Polish soldiers, police officers, and border guards are engaged in fighting every day on the border where the situation resembles a wartime landscape. Yeah, because these people are trying to illegitimately enter the country, and they have no right. Turning our attention here to the United States, folks, black men are turning against Kamala Harris, and why not? She's a fraud. She's dishonest, and she lies. Everything out of her mouth is a lie when she can actually string a sentence together. Black men are smarter than that, at least some of them, and they're coming around. In Michigan City, Harris has failed to catch fire with black men. In December, black men in Pontiac, Michigan told the Washington Post they were unenthusiastic about Biden. Now some feel the same about Harris. Well, with good reason. That's Brian Killian Bay, a 60-year-old in Pontiac. The city's main drag has not seen true bustle for decades, with dozens of vacant storefronts scattered among active businesses, but that's not stopped Brian Killian Bay from daydreaming about the red brick corner property on North Saginaw Street. Anyway, so black men, there's Barack Obama mansplaining to black men about how they're responsible for Kamala Harris being so unpopular. She's responsible for Kamala Harris being so unpopular, not black men. Shame on them. Is that woman's face blacked out? Or is she wearing a mask over her eyes? There's a woman there whose face is blacked out on the right-hand side. Can you see that? That's weird. Let's take a look and zoom in on that and see if her face is blocked out or if that's a mask. Her face is blacked out. Why did the Washington Post black out that woman's face? You see that? Look at that. Right there where my mouse is rolling over. Why is her face blacked out? This is a public photo. Who is that? And why is her face hidden by the Washington Post? That is not a mask. That is a black block that they used to cover up her face. What is going on there? Why is the Washington Post hiding the face of someone at a public event with Barry Obama? Very strange. Wow. So, black men turning against Kamala. Good reason. Well, Harris is fighting to get those black men back. Looking to shore up her vulnerability, she announces new policies for black entrepreneurs. Look, this clown is just making it up as she goes. These aren't policies. She came out with no policies. She had no policies. She wasn't the candidate for president. She was vice president. She had Joe Biden's policies. She has no policies. This is all pandering to voters. Pandering. Unbelievable. Vice President Kamala Harris and her Democratic allies are rolling out a blizzard of policies, events, and outreach in an attempt to shore up her standing with black men. 3 weeks to go to Election Day. She stopped at a black-owned business in Erie, Pennsylvania to discuss her new economic plan for black entrepreneurs ahead of the rally there. At the same time, actor Don Cheadle and NFL defensive tackle Thomas Booker headlined a Monday Night Football watch party in Detroit in an attempt to use celebrity surrogates to connect with voters. Ah, my goodness. Well, I understand the sentiment of having a desire to see increased engagement. Chastising voters has never worked, and that won't work this time. Yep. That's feedback to the campaign. She wants to offer 1 million forgivable business loans to black entrepreneurs to use to start their business. Excuse me. She wants to give 1 million forgivable loans. In other words, grants to black business owners. That's racist. That's racist. The vice president wants to offer 1 million forgivable business loans for black entrepreneurs to start businesses, create more training and apprenticeship programs, and to study diseases such as diabetes and sickle cell anemia that predominantly affect black men. Why is she giving loans? Why is she giving my money to black entrepreneurs? Why is it given to entrepreneurs? Who is she, the racist Kamala Harris, to take my money and give it exclusively to black men? Why not black women, white women, Native American women, Native American men? Racist. She described her campaign's self-described opportunity agenda for black men would regulate cryptocurrency and digital currencies to protect black investors, promote more black men into teaching professions, and reiterate the support for legalizing marijuana. So she's just made the statement that black men are all about weed. That's what she says. She wants to regulate cryptocurrency to protect black investors. What makes black people so special? They're not. They're no better or worse than anyone else. Why the racist policies of exclusion? Wow. Khalil Thompson, a co-founder and executive director of the Win with Black Men, said he's supportive of Harris's proposed agenda, but he wishes she put it out earlier. Yeah, because it's fake. She's never going to do it. What I find is that far too often black men are left to be engaged at the tail end of the electoral cycle, and it's frustrating. Why are you depending on government to give you special racist favor, Mr. Thompson? Why don't you just go out and achieve on your own? You're not making any arguments that you're being unfairly discriminated against. That would be legitimate. What you're saying is you deserve special privileges and advantages because you're black. That's racist. Well, they're desperate. They're desperate against Trump. Look at this. They just make stuff. Oh, Donald Trump was swaying and bopping to music for 39 minutes in a bizarre town hall episode. Now they're saying he's a weirdo, like Tim Waltz. So look at Trump. Vice President Harris has called Trump unstable and questioned his mental acuity. Well, you think we really give two flying flips about what Kamala Harris has to say about anyone's mental acuity? The woman can't string sentences together. She can't. She's absolutely clueless. Absolutely clueless. Oh my goodness. So they are desperate to come up with anything they can to attack Trump. Whoops, that's not the right thing. That came out wrong. So I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's bizarre to say the very least. Here's the latest. So here he is swaying in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Kristi Noem up on stage with him there. So the town hall moderated by South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem began with questions from pre-selected attendees for former President Trump. He offered meandering answers on how he would address housing affordability and help small businesses, but it took a sudden turn after two attendees required medical attention. And so Trump, after jokingly asking the crowd whether anybody else would like to faint, took a different approach. Let's not do any more questions. Let's just listen to music. Let's turn into music. For 39 minutes, Trump swayed, bopped, and sometimes stopped to speak as he turned the event into almost a living room listening session. So what exactly should Trump do when two people had medical emergencies? Just sit there with dead air while people were attended to? Or should they just drag the bodies out of the room so they can continue? What kind of asses are the Washington Post? Where democracy goes to die, the Washington Post. Well, Wall Street Journal, they captured former legitimate financial publication, news publication, which is now captured by the left, says that Boeing needs cash. They're going to sell shares. $10 billion in stock offering. Stay away, folks. Yeah, in a pair of regulatory filings Tuesday, told investors it could issue up to $25 billion in new shares or debt during the next 3 years while entering into new credit arrangement with lenders. So Boeing is in trouble, folks. They don't have cash for their capital outlays, and they're being attacked by striking unions that are greedy bastards. It's a big problem for Boeing. Meanwhile, Goldman Sachs saw its third quarter profit jump by 45%. Well, somebody's making money in this crappy economy, and it isn't me. Goldman Sachs. Profit at Goldman rose 45% to $3 billion in one quarter. That's $8.40 a share, better than expected. Revenue rose 7% to $12.7 billion. So on a $13 billion, well, almost $13 billion, let me see what that is. Their profit on that, this is how wealthy banks can be and how much money they can make. So that's 2.99 divided by $12.7 billion. That's a 24% profit margin for Goldman Sachs. Oh yeah, they're suffering. Meanwhile, Bank of America went to a loss. So too bad for Bank of America. Things are not looking good there. Anyway, folks, that's just kind of a sunrise edition here. I hope that was interesting. Let me go to the chat, close the poll off. And what do you guys say? So almost everybody said that the action I say is not matured. Let me go back here and see what's said in the chat. Okay. Zoom is, what's this interview this morning at Celia's Brink? What is that? Diane, please help me out. Who are you talking about there? I don't know what Zim's Mustasha Fafa is. I don't know who that is. Celia's Brink was interviewed this morning. Huh. Okay. At what time did the stream start? It started at 7:45 this morning, Garrett. You got to be in the groups. You got to be in the groups. I put it in the moderators, and it was up to them to spread it. Yeah, Chris Ayler says 143 racist laws. Yeah, George is in from Hackport. How can one brain cell organism mature? Juju wins the Darwin Award again. Yep, that Malema is in the seat for selecting. Beats the crap out of me. Yep. People still believe they're Christian. Yeah. We tend to think and act as though Malema is an idiot and lack intelligence. He's not. He's politically astute, clever, and very manipulative. Watch out. Yes, all true, Erica, but only in the South African context. He's completely clueless when it comes to anything outside the country. It reminds me of Brownie Samakai, who was very astute to Liberian politics, but completely missed the international context. Had no idea what he's talking about. Hey, Paulie, how's it going? Tucker interviewed a former colleague of Kamala's. Very telling. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Tucker. Is that on X? Patrick says, listening in from work through earphones. Sick of this campaigning on race. Guess it's not only us, but you as well. Yeah, no kidding. It's here too. It's here. We've had it for 20 years, and it's not going away. This era of racism, this black supremacy, was ushered in by Barack Hussein Obama, a man whose ancestry is half white. Isn't it comical? Good afternoon. I'm watching while at work, says Ellis. Okay. All right. Kurtz is here. She's scraping the bottom of the barrel. Poor victim black man. Hike is in from Michigan. He likes music. Damn him. Yeah, shame on Donald Trump. Yeah. Hey, Hike, I don't know if you saw my video on the original Chris Wyatt Africa, but you should check that one out. Let me just do that real quick. See if I can't find that one and give you guys a link. Hey, come on. Judicial Service Commissioner actually going on right now. Oh, Ronaldo did a video which has 15,000 views on the same subject I talked about. So, yeah, it shows you how my content is suppressed. Real Chris Wyatt. Okay. Here we go. It doesn't even put up my top video here. So, there we go. 70,000 views on this now. Okay. That's on mute, so we don't have to worry about that coming in. Here's the link to that if you haven't seen it, folks. You can check it out. That one has 70,000 views now. Erica just gifted 5 memberships. Erica, I won't be able to salute all these people because I have to leave here shortly. Thank you for the 5 memberships, Erica. I reckon her ever-changing accent beats his swaying. Yeah, exactly. And Michelle Fundameva, congratulations. Greetings from the Okinawa Peninsula. Okay, so Donald John Trump is being interviewed by Joe Rogan. I'm sure that you're covered this. That will put Trump over the top. Theodoros, congratulations. Rumors say that Kamala will also do Joe Rogan. Whatever, Dave. I don't care for Joe Rogan. The guy's boring. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know why people think it's exciting. Martin, congratulations. But yeah, if you think that's going to help him, I don't know. It's got to be better than the Call Me Daddy, fellatio podcast that Kamala Harris went on. Pete Brassington, congratulations to you. I'm not used to seeing you there. What else you got there? I was a bit worried. Wind blowing. Okay, you guys talking about the weather there. Okay. So Martin K., Pete Brassington, Theodorus, Michelle Fundamava, and Galactic got a membership. Missed that one. Galactic. That hasn't come up. Anyway, thanks you guys so much. Be sure to hit the like button. Just 39 likes, 45 people currently here. This is the Sunrise edition. I thought I'd get something out before the day got going. I've got to run off. I have a bit later start time this morning, so I was able to do this. I had to record the Rugby Ascendant podcast with M.V. Velman. Otherwise, I would have done this sooner. So this would have started at 7 a.m., 1 p.m. South African time had it not been for that. So I had to do that. Did that at 7. That went to about 7:40, and then I set this stream up very quickly. So we'll knock it off here. I'll try to do something at lunchtime if I'm able to. But remember, I'm on the road this week, so I'll be broadcasting from my mobile phone, which should be at 100%, and it is. Now it's charged. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Stay tuned. What's going on with Action SA? I think I need to talk to somebody in that party and get some feedback from them because they are all over the place. All right. Thanks. Meanwhile, also something from Celia's Brink would be great to hear too. Joe Rogan, Donald Trump. Okay, if that gets him votes, I'll go for it. Sounds good. All right. It's not really a trip when I say I'm on the road, Richard. It means I'm just not in my studio. I'm traveling all of 20 kilometers to work. But I'm gone Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then Monday through Friday next week. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Catch you later today if things go well. Cheers. Be safe out there. And appreciate you tuning in to my Sunrise edition. I'll make a new banner for it. I didn't have a banner set up for Sunrise. Yeah. Cheers. Thanks a lot.